Approximately 7 years ago, one of my most popular videos on my YouTube channel is the M&W formations. Has over 20 plus thousand views. And I know just from that one video alone, thousands of traders have made buku bread that I wouldn't even be able to quantify. But I do know that this particular pattern, it worked then, and it worked then, and it still works now. It's nothing wrong with it. And that's why I always tell people you can have a strategy all day. The strategy is the 5%. This is public information, right? Trading the M&W formation. Now, there is a specific way that I do it, that I teach, but at the same time, it is public information. And I've always been transparent about that. I know some people will come online and they're like, oh, I'm teaching you this. I teach it a certain way, but what I teach is public. Renko charts, M&W formations, engulfing candles. Those are public. Now, the strategy comes into knowing what to do, what, when, okay? Said that to say, we were just on live going through the books for next month, right? That's what we do. It's the end of the month. We got to get our minds prepared for the next month. We were perusing through the charts. It's May the 25th. Okay, May the 25th, 2026. We are currently looking at platinum. We are using the Owanda chart. I do have an exclusive partnership with Owanda. So if you are looking for a reliable broker, please send me an email. I'm happy to help you with that. On the daily chart, we have platinum. There are a couple different things that I love about this trade. When I say love, this is my favorite setup. Now, does that mean it always works? No. Let me just, if you thought I'm trying to convince you that this always works and that it'll never be wrong, I don't want to convince you of that. What I do want to convince you of is if you can see it and you can trade it enough times, there is a probability that over the series of a few trades, you will have a certain result. There was another video, I think that was like 2019, where I deposited maybe like 250. We ran it up to like 2,700 using this exact strategy. And I talked about that in that video. So I'm not going to prolong this video anymore. We're already 2 minutes in. And oh, sheesh, my ears just popped. Perfect. That's perfect timing because this whole time my ear hadn't popped. So that's great. That just shows you when you're on the right path, because I literally was over here like, man, my ear, and I had to chew some gum, and I didn't want to chew the gum on camera because that's not classy. So let's get into it. Okay. Let's break this down. And I want to give you like detailed breakdown to the point that I can. Some things in this video we're not going to be able to go into, but overall structure, the market overall structure, we have the market in this lazy upclimb. It's been a lazy upclimb since September of 2025, right? We had a high of around basically 29,000, $2,900. This is platinum. So $2,900, it went up to 2888.176 if we want to be specific. There was a wick in there, and that was also an M formation. I mean, you can go back on the chart, and I'm going to show you a way. This is the same video that I made 7 years ago, but I just wanted to make a new version. I'm going to show you the easiest way to see it, because sometimes with the candlesticks, it gets a little confusing. You're like, oh, is this it? I'm telling you, this I don't like to use the word hack, but it's just a trick. I say, yo, use this because it helps to really line it up. So when it came up to that 28,888, triple eights right there, sheesh, divine. That's another angel number. It rejected. It went all the way back down to $2,539. Okay. And then it briefly popped up, came back and rejected off of pretty close to that 2,800, 2,775. Okay. $2,775. Gave us a bearish candle. Now that is our trigger. That's what I like to call my trigger candle. So if I'm looking at this trade and I'm ready to go, I am going to set up a short position. I have an aggressive entry. I'm going to put it in, pause. I'm going to execute that trade at that level. I have my zone. Now, the way that I train and teach and educate, like all of my courses, I show you exactly how to set up a trade from start to finish. It's not just from start, right? Sometimes it's like you know where to get in, but where do you get out? How do you know where to set up your stop? Like exactly. That's what I like to teach because I don't want you to guess. So boom, the clarity on that is like we see where the stop is, we see where it could potentially go, and we love that. It's a 1 to 3. Anything over a 1 to 2.5 R, I have to take. Okay, I don't know about you. I don't like 1 to 1. That's not my style. Some traders do it. I don't really like it. I don't like it. It's not my style. It has to, for me to be interested, it has to be at least 1 to 2.5. And considering the fact that this is the daily chart, technically, this had the potential of a 1 to 4. And so that already off rip is like a green light. And I want to tell you a couple reasons why this is like my ideal, or what I like to call my A plus trade. Let me get the cursor in here. And so we have the market above the moving averages, check. We have this move up here, pull back to the 20, and then again that M formation that we entered on here, took advantage of that, brought that back down to where it came from. Currently, that's where the market is. That's where the market is, homie. That's where the market is, fam. It's right back in the same area. And so this area that it came down to, it played around, bounced all the way down to $1,858, came back up approximately $2,400, right? And then came back down to that same 1858, played around that, bounced up, and it's literally been bouncing around this level. Now, here's the thing. Obvious. This is our other edge. I have 3 edges: engulfing candle, M&W formations, and Renko. That's what I teach. It's very simple. It's not complicated. To me, it's not complicated. And it's not complicated to see, right? So you have this engulfing candle right back at the same level. Boom, you can enter here. That's another trade. Okay, that's another trade on this same chart on the daily time frame. Set up your risk. Once you got into this trade, if the risk was anywhere below this candle, you weren't in any sort of drawdown. It went straight up. Okay, back to this level here. You could consider this to be another engulfing candle. Probably not something I would have traded, but yeah, because of the distance, right? Because if that was a short move, it's like, okay, where is it going to go? Now, fast forward where we are right now. Okay, and I'm going to show you, because visually, I promise you that I have a way of showing and teaching this where it really simplifies it so that you can literally go out today and start looking for M and W formations on your chart. So what we're going to do, candlesticks. I love candlesticks. Okay, I love candles. Okay, who don't love a good mahogany teak wood? I love a good mahogany teak wood. That's my favorite. If you would like to give me one, let me know. I can definitely, you can send it out. Hey, let me know. But listen, sometimes the candles are a little bit too much information. It's too much noise. Is this a that? That kind of looks like an engulfing candle. And so with that being said, what we like to do is switch it to a line chart. Trust me on this, my friend. Switch it to a line chart. And so now, not only back in here, can you obviously see how beautiful that M formation was. You can see, the reason that I'm making this video is because you can see that we currently have a W formation setting up at a major psychological price level, the 200. And so I've broken this down. Now, obviously, that was juicy. That was massive. We can see this move. In here, still not so bad. Trading opportunity. This is more of a micro, where this is like a macro. Again, sometimes you'll see where it is a macro M and you can take advantage. Just like, well, I'll show you really quickly on US 30, and then I do want to wrap this live up because now the gym has been open and I gotta making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. So boom, here, and you can see how now those candlesticks, wow, I can see that W now. It's very clear. Looks like if I entered here, there's a potential for this market to go back up to here. Now, here's what we talked about. This is the technical, scientific part of trading. And if you wanted to take your profits here, it's up to you. Wherever you want to take the profits. No guarantee. However, you could pay attention and watch to see how this trade plays out. In my experience, over the series of 10 trades, you're going to get about a 75% hit rate if you have a couple of things that are working for you in your favor. All right. Those are the things I really don't have time to dive into. But look at that. So really quick, you can visually see that your risk and your reward. So the red zone is your risk. The green zone is your reward. I love that, right? We don't want, what happens is a lot of times I see traders that have, give me 1 second, let me switch this to, okay, we 10 minutes. Look at me doing a 10-minute lesson. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me because normally, hey, when it comes to trading, we could talk about this all day. Unfortunately, what I tend to see is traders being taught to take trades that are upside down. And so some people teach you to take the M pattern in a situation like that, where it's not too bad. I mean, you got a little pippage in there, but my style, I like to get it as aggressively as I can so I can put my risk there, have a better profit potential, and it's off to the races. And so really quick, I would like to show you this W that we caught on US 30. Look at that. Boom. Open sesame. Right off of the 20. Just opened them up. Opened the market up. And so technically, this is on the daily chart. Now, I don't recommend trading the daily chart on US 30. And I'm going to show you actually on a smaller time frame, so don't worry about it. But look at that right off the bat on the daily chart. And then we're going to drop down to the 5-minute chart because there was an opportunity on the 5-minute chart where it was a macro W on the 5-minute, which would have put you in position to ride it all the way up to 5,100. Look at that. And this was one that we talked about on our live. Look at that. Look at this W here, right? So same philosophy. Yes, we could have exited here. The creative portion of our trading says we could have stayed in here. Who knows? Yes, it pulled back to here while we were in that trade. Maybe you had the courage to hold it a little bit longer. I do teach how to hold a trade overnight. That's a separate course that you can it's a 7-day course. And so boom, perhaps you want to stay in it. You can get out when you want, but that's just another example of that macro W. So 12 minutes in, we've been online for a bit. I hope that you can extract some value. And again, that video has over 24,000 views. I'm pretty sure this video is going to have a bunch of views on it because it's the same thing. It's just doing the same thing over and over. It is a challenge as a trader to not want to deviate and not want to mix it up. But if you can do it over and over, you can practice doing the same thing over and over. In the long term, there will be value. So thank you for hanging out with me. We've been on live for approximately 45 minutes or so. And we do have our final trading club Tuesday tomorrow. Okay. So peace and happy Memorial Day. Be sure to like the video. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know which one you could see the easiest. Could you see the W the easiest, or could you see the M the easiest? And then could you see it with the candlesticks? Like, look at that. Look at that entry right here. This is where we got in. And this was a trade that we talked about during one of our lives. Can you see this entry here on this candle being your opportunity? That trade took off in like 2 minutes. It took off in like 2 minutes. And so practice seeing that. You can go back and use whatever platform you trade on to see how many times you can see that formation. And if you need help, by all means, I'm available to you. You can book a one-on-one. You can apply to book a one-on-one. The calendar dates are out there. If there is a date because I am a little bit flexible, I do understand the time zone differences with some of my clients that are traveling. So you can send me an email to hello@thebillionairetomboy.com. You can also go to you can go to the billionairetomboy.com, tomboy with an I, to book the one-on-one there. It'll also give you access to the courses. Now, if you have questions, you could text me at 602-292-7772. All right. If you are in the Phoenix, Arizona area, this is a real reason why I'm making this video. Okay. I said all that to say, because I wanted to give you the value first. I wanted to show you that I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for a while, and I've been teaching this for a while. The real reason that I'm making this video is because on the 8th of June, we will be starting our Mask Mindset Executive as a cohort. We'll be starting that live. All right. And so I need your help, TikTok. I need your help. I am looking for masculine presenting women over the age of 25 that do have prior trading experience. You don't have to be tip-top expert. You do need to have some level of trading experience so that we can accelerate the process. So back in 2024 is when I had officially launched my own trading firm. I didn't publicly announce it, but I was holding it in my back pocket that eventually I would like to have a trading firm that was full of women that look like me, right? And so what we're going to do starting on the 8th of June is our executive live. If you're in the Phoenix, Arizona area, I need to hear from you specifically, okay? Over the age of 25, again, enough trading experience where we don't have to teach you the basics, right, of what a market is. Even if you've had previous success and loss, that's okay. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to help you build your own trading firm. Okay. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. So how is this going to benefit you? One, again, you do need some sort of trading experience, not just, it depends on how much time you have, because you're going to have access to 2 of my top selling trading programs. One of them originally, it was a 12-week training program. Now they're going to be deeply discounted to you because I'm not going to go over the actual trainings with you, right? Those are going to be self-paced. So you'll have access to that. Give me 1 second. So again, those are going to be deeply discounted to you coming through the executive program, because if you need a refresher on how to trade, that's going to be available to you as a training resource. Okay. So not only are you going to have access to Forex Freedom Fast, which is a 12-week training course that me and one of my trading partners did back in 2021, also a 6-figure trader. We put in some jewels in that training. So it is technically a 12-week training, but again, we're not going to go through that together. It's a part of what you'll have access to being in the live group. You will also have access to the Ultimate Forex Training. Now, this is multiple levels of training where you can see how we trade support and resistance. You can see how we trade supply and demand. This is more technical. Okay. So it is beginner friendly, but it is more advanced beginner friendly. So again, that's where that experience